Will LeBron have a better chance of winning a championship with Luka or Steph, Joe? And his ability to pass the ball with Steph's ability to move without the ball?
I have a question.
He's cheating again. They'll trade Jimmy, the butler, the maid, and a couple other people to get LeBron to put it with Steph.
What if I told you that the NBA world could witness something that would shake the very foundation of basketball history? What if the two greatest icons of this generation, LeBron James and Stephen Curry, somehow joined forces on the same roster? Imagine the electricity in the arena, the confusion in defenses, the nightmare scenarios for opposing coaches. This is not just another idea thrown around for fun. This is the type of basketball fantasy that has the potential to become the scariest reality the league has ever seen. LeBron and Steph on the same team is not just a pairing, it is an unstoppable duo that bends the game in ways nobody else can. Every analyst, every fan, and every former player who has dared to speak about it knows one simple truth. This would not just be a great team, it would be unfair. And that is exactly what we are breaking down today. Quote after quote, we will dive into the opinions of analysts who truly understand the game at its deepest levels. We will examine why LeBron and Steph together would be unstoppable, why defenses would crumble, why offenses would suffocate trying to keep up, and why this pairing would feel like basketball perfection. But before we dive in, I need you to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash the like button, because this type of breakdown is what makes the NBA so fascinating. Stick with us until the very end, because you will see just how crazy this duo would actually be. When Unc raises the question of whether LeBron James would have a better chance at winning the championship with Luka Doncic or Stephen Curry, the underlying point is monumental. This is not just about choosing between two talented players. This is about weighing the value of pairing the most complete player in NBA history with either a young superstar still climbing toward his prime or the greatest shooter the game has ever seen. Luka is incredible. There is no question. He is strong, crafty, and he has already developed an uncanny ability to dictate the pace of a game. But when you bring Steph into the picture alongside LeBron, you are not just adding another great player. You are creating a basketball formula that feels impossible to counter. LeBron thrives when he has shooters around him, and there is no shooter in the history of the sport that compares to Stephen Curry. Luka brings control, but Steph brings terror. He forces defenses to stretch far beyond their comfort zone, opening lanes for LeBron in ways that no other player can. Think about it from a defensive perspective. If LeBron were to share the court with Luka, defenses would certainly have to respect Luka's craftiness, his step-backs, his playmaking. But there is a difference between respect and outright fear. Teams know how to load up against Luka because he is still, at his core, a perimeter shot creator with a methodical game. But with Steph, the defense is never safe. He does not stop moving. He drags defenders 25 feet from the rim, and the moment you make the smallest mistake, he punishes you with a three-pointer that shifts momentum instantly. When Unc asks the question, the truth is clear. LeBron with Luka would be strong, but LeBron with Steph would be unstoppable. Luka may add power, but Steph creates chaos. And in chaos, LeBron is at his most dangerous. The championship window for LeBron is not about finding someone who can share the spotlight. It is about finding someone who complements his strengths and covers for any of his weaknesses at this stage in his career. Luka duplicates some of what LeBron already brings as a ball-dominant creator. Steph provides the exact opposite, the perfect balance. He does not need the ball in his hands to be lethal. He thrives in movement, he thrives in spacing, and he thrives in punishing defenders who dare to relax for even a second. With Steph, LeBron is free to facilitate, free to attack, and free to dominate without worrying about carrying the entire scoring burden. That is why the question is so powerful, because once you truly understand the contrast, the answer becomes obvious. Steph is the one who elevates LeBron to championship inevitability.
Will LeBron have a better chance of winning a championship with Luka or Steph, Joe?
When Joe steps in and makes his position clear, saying he would take Steph over Luka because Steph is a proven commodity, he is hitting the nail directly on the head. In sports, especially basketball, there is nothing more valuable than certainty. Luka may become a generational icon. He may surpass expectations and rewrite record books, but the truth is he has not proven himself on the championship stage. He has had his playoff moments, but he has not carried a team to the promised land. He has not consistently delivered under the brightest lights, and he has not shown he can elevate a roster to the top of the NBA mountain. Steph has done all of that multiple times, and he has done it against some of the greatest teams and greatest players the league has ever seen. That is the difference between potential and proof. When you put Steph Curry next to LeBron James, you are not dreaming about what could happen. You are talking about what will happen. You are talking about two basketball minds who have already defined eras, who have already conquered the league, and who know exactly how to close when it matters most. Joe's point about Steph being proven is not just a surface-level comment. It speaks to the trust factor. Coaches can trust Steph because they know he has already delivered delivered in Game 7s, in NBA Finals, in hostile arenas. Teammates can trust him because he has the humility to share the spotlight while still being able to explode for 40 points when needed. Opponents respect him because they know he is never out of range and never out of rhythm. That level of proof changes everything. LeBron is in the twilight of his career, and at this point, pairing him with a proven winner is the only logical path. He does not need someone who might figure it out. He needs someone who has already mastered the art of winning. Steph has done that with the Golden State Warriors dynasty. He has set the blueprint for how to dominate modern basketball. He is not just a proven shooter, he is a proven champion, and that is what separates him from Luka in this debate. Joe is right because championships are not won on theories or potential. They are won by killers who know how to close. Steph Curry is exactly that. And when paired with LeBron James, the combination of proven greatness becomes basketball's scariest reality.
Hey, if I had to choose, I'm going Steph, bro.
For sure.
Hey, listen,
Proven commodity.
One of the most fascinating parts of Joe's analysis is when he explains how Steph Curry's presence on the floor completely transforms LeBron's role. For years, LeBron has been forced to carry the scoring load alongside being the facilitator, the defender, and the emotional leader. It has been exhausting, and yet he has still managed to dominate. But what happens when you put him next to Steph? Suddenly, defenses are so terrified of Curry that LeBron finally gets to operate in his most natural state, which is as the world's greatest facilitator. That is where LeBron has always been the most dangerous. He can score with anyone, yes, but when he is able to dissect defenses with his passing, when he can manipulate space, when he can control tempo, there is no answer. Steph is the reason this transformation works. Defenses cannot sag off him. They cannot cheat off the pick and roll. They cannot leave him on the perimeter. The moment they do, he punishes them. That constant gravitational pull forces defenses to bend in ways that no other player in history can replicate. And when those defenses bend, LeBron attacks the seams, not necessarily to score, but to deliver pinpoint passes to cutters, shooters, and rim runners. The game becomes easy for LeBron. And when the game is easy for LeBron, history shows that he is unstoppable. Joe is exactly right in saying that Steph allows LeBron to play his natural game. It is not just about lessening the scoring load. It is about unlocking the very best version of LeBron James at this stage of his career. Imagine LeBron catching the ball at the top of the key with Steph running circles off the ball. The defense is scrambled, unsure whether to trap LeBron, stay glued to Steph, or collapse the paint. In that split second of confusion, LeBron makes the perfect read, and the offense produces either an open three, a backdoor cut, or a high percentage finish at the rim. That is basketball at its purest form, and that is what LeBron and Steph together would create possession after possession. It is not fair, it is artistry, and it is exactly why Joe's breakdown matters so much. Steph is not just a scorer, he is a catalyst who allows LeBron to become a version of himself that we rarely see because of the burdens he has always carried. That combination is what makes the pairing of these two icons so terrifying.
but he's just a guy who's going to command, I'm talking about Steph, he's going to command so much attention that LeBron will really get to play a natural position, which is like more of a facilitator.
Joe's statement about LeBron still putting up 22 to 25 points a night while focusing on his facilitating is not just accurate, it is chilling. At his age, LeBron no longer needs to chase 35 points every night, and yet he is still more than capable of dropping those numbers if needed. But in a partnership with Steph, his scoring becomes secondary. He is still giving you 20 plus with ease, but the real destruction comes from his ability to orchestrate. Think about this. A LeBron James who is not straining to score 30, but instead dedicating his energy to reading defenses, setting up teammates, and dissecting matchups with surgical passing. That is the most efficient version of LeBron James you can possibly imagine. This is where Joe's imagination of how crazy it would look starts to feel real. 25 points from LeBron in a game already puts fear in opponents. Add to that 10 or 12 assists created by the attention Steph commands, and suddenly you are looking at 40 or 50 points directly generated from LeBron's presence alone. That type of output on a nightly basis is championship-level dominance, and it would not even look forced. It would look smooth, natural, and efficient, because LeBron would not be gassed trying to do everything himself. Steph gives him the freedom to be selective with his scoring while being relentless with his facilitating. That balance is unfair, and it is what makes the combination almost mythical. Fans who have followed LeBron's career know that his passing has always been his secret weapon. He has been praised for his vision since his rookie season, but too often it has been overshadowed by his scoring or his physical dominance. Partnering with Steph shines a light on that skill in its purest form. It puts him in a position to thrive as the greatest playmaker the forward position has ever seen. Joe's comment about not even being able to imagine how crazy that would be is perfect, because words almost fail to capture it. It would be basketball at its highest form, the perfect blend of unselfish brilliance and ruthless efficiency. And when you combine that with Steph's constant movement and shot making, you have an offense that is not just great, but inevitable.
Yeah, he's going to probably still score about 22 to 25 points a night, but him facilitating Oh my God, I couldn't even.
When Unk described the pairing of LeBron James and Stephen Curry as something that almost feels like cheating, he was not exaggerating one bit. This is the type of combination that bends the laws of basketball itself. LeBron has always been more than just a scorer. He is a floor general, a player whose court vision rivals some of the greatest point guards the game has ever seen. Now pair that with Steph Curry, the greatest off-ball mover the league has ever witnessed. Steph does not just stand in a corner and wait for a pass. He is constantly running through screens, curling around defenders, and dragging entire defenses into chaos. With LeBron's uncanny ability to see plays develop before they even happen, Curry becomes the deadliest weapon imaginable. Think about it. LeBron is bringing the ball up. Defenses are already scrambling to account for his size and driving threat, and suddenly, Steph is darting across the baseline, forcing two defenders to chase him. The result? Either Steph gets a clean shot or someone else is left wide open. That is why Unk said it feels like cheating, because no defense in the modern NBA is equipped to contain a duo like this. It is not a matter of skill alone. It is about the way their strengths amplify each other. LeBron thrives when he has shooters around him, and Steph thrives when he has a facilitator who can deliver the ball exactly where he wants it. Together, they create a puzzle with no solution. This kind of synergy is not just dangerous, it is historic. If LeBron and Steph ever truly shared the court in their primes, it would not just dominate, it would break the game.
And his ability to pass the ball with Steph's ability to move without the ball?
I have a
He's
question.
cheating again.
Yunka's remark about trading Jimmy Butler and other players to try to beat LeBron and Steph speaks volumes about the level of fear and respect this duo commands. When front offices start thinking about breaking apart their own stars or shaking up rosters just to stand a chance, you know the league is in trouble. Jimmy Butler is not just some role player. He is one of the most resilient competitors in the NBA. He has carried Miami through grueling playoff battles and built a reputation as a relentless two-way leader. Yet even with a warrior like Butler, Unk points out that teams might feel forced to sacrifice him if it means putting together a squad capable of contending with LeBron. Steph. That shows how overwhelming the prospect of this combination truly is. It is not about building a solid team anymore. It is about desperately trying to find an answer to a problem that seems unsolvable. Teams would have to mortgage their future, sacrifice chemistry, and gamble everything just to stand in the same arena as LeBron and Steph. This is not just talk. It reflects how transformative their pairing would be. It shifts the balance of power in the entire league, forcing rivals to take drastic measures. Imagine the ripple effects. Star players, fan bases shaken, franchises rebuilt overnight, all because two of the greatest to ever play decided to team up. That is what Unk was alluding to. The threat of LeBron and Steph together is not just a basketball problem, it is a league-wide crisis.
They'll trade Jimmy, the butler, the maid, and a couple other people to get LeBron to put it with Steph.
At the end of the day, Unk's words drive home a truth that NBA fans already know deep down. The idea of LeBron James and Stephen Curry joining forces is more than just exciting, it is terrifying. On one hand, you have LeBron, the ultimate playmaker and physical force who sees the floor like few others ever have. On the other, you have Steph Curry, the most revolutionary shooter and off-ball mover the game has ever seen. Together, they do not just form a strong duo, they create a basketball nightmare that opponents simply cannot prepare for. Unk painted the picture clearly. Their synergy would feel like cheating, and the rest of the league would be left scrambling, even to the point of trading away stars like Jimmy Butler in a desperate bid to keep up. This is what makes the conversation around these two so electrifying. It is not just about talent, it is about inevitability. If LeBron and Steph ever truly align, the NBA would never be the same. And that is why these debates are so passionate, because deep down, everyone knows that pairing these two is not fair. It is domination waiting to happen.